I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to The Road to Glory. I didn't think I would do another one of these so soon, but what I'm going to do, I haven't looked at them yet. There are a lot of comments. I can feel a lot of ill feeling coming out of that Road to Glory that I posted yesterday. You know, looking back on it, I moaned a lot. I didn't talk about anything really significant apart from me moaning about the game. So, well, not moaning about the game necessarily. I mean, I was, but I wasn't at the same time. I was trying to explain why I wasn't really enjoying this, that, and the other, and doing this and doing that. And I talk about it a lot on the Road to Glory. It's kind of like a venting sort of system, if you will, for me. Maybe that's not what it should be, but there's a lot of, I can see, I think there are a lot of dislikes on the video. So I'm going to dive into the comments while some gameplay plays out in the background. I'm hoping I've played Foot Champs. I'm recording this before I've played it, so I've got no idea. I just wanted to get into the comments and see what people were saying before I... Yeah, just wanted to get into the comments, see what people were saying. Basically, that's all I wanted to do. So, let's get into it. Top comment. I say top comment. There's no, like, structure to this. I don't know why it is top comment, but it is. Lucas says, I played Foot Champs and punched my PS. I'm hoping that's PlayStation or like Percy Smith, his best mate or something. So this is my only foot experience for the next few days. Well, there we go then. Relax says, NG, do whatever you need to do. At the end of the day, FIFA is a glitchy, laggy, ragey, disconnecty game. I agree with that. I got disconnected actually yesterday, day before yesterday for you. It's just in a Rivals game. It didn't mean anything. I can't remember whether I was winning. I wasn't losing. It was I was either drawing or I was winning. I can't remember, but it just randomly disconnected. I think it was like 2-2 or something, and it was like 70 minutes. It just disconnected while I was through on goal. He didn't quit. 100% he didn't leave. I got the loss for it, in fact. So it's just one of those things. But hey, is Ter Stegen team of the season the best goalkeeper you've used? I'm trying to think of the best... No, Oblak team of the season, I think, is better. To be fair, I won't lie to you. I've only played one game with Ter Stegen, and it was that game you watched yesterday. So I can't tell you whether he is that good or not yet, because he's obviously, when he played for me, I lost the game. I conceded goals. I wasn't really paying attention to how many saves he was making. Oblak, though, he is incredible. But I will get back to you at some point. Obviously, it won't be today, but I will get back to you at some point during the Road to Glory. I do want to try and continue it, but I do want to try and continue the Road to Glory with gameplay, not just packs on packs, right? And I want to try and struggle through Weekend League. It's just time. I need to try and find the time to play it, essentially. So, you've got a little icon here. How long have you been subscribed for? 10 months. Wasim Al-Khair. The amount of stupidity in this game is unbearable, he says. I'm sorry to say this, but they made FIFA 20 for 10 to 12-year-olds and not for adults. And goes on to say, I stopped playing for 3 months and deleted the game, even though I have 2 untradeable icons with many overpowered untradeable cards and 2 million coins. I just can't be bothered to play anymore. It's not a fun game. And yeah, basically it's what I lean towards. Unfortunately, I can't just stop playing it because obviously I need to produce the content. It's my job. I've not faced one, and I've read a couple of comments underneath. Not had one negative comment yet, and yet there are loads of dislikes. I say loads. I don't know. I've not really... I'm going to go have a look. I get anxiety while looking at dislikes because I'm thinking, oh, what have I done wrong, you know? There are, 5 dislikes. That's not the end of the world, but there's no negative comment to go with said dislike yet, so I don't really know what people are disliking. It's me moaning people are disliking, let's be honest. I don't... Anyway, yeah, so obviously I can't stop playing it. The thing about this game for me is the actual gameplay itself, the way that you pass the ball around, the way that you get from back to front, and the general movement of the players and such and things like that. I do like it. I think it's much better than last year. The problem I have this year is that the servers don't work. I'm pressing buttons and nothing's happening. I press buttons and it does the opposite. I do a skill move, he stands there. Those things annoy me more than anything else. When you go in for a tackle and you don't get the ball. There's one thing in this game, and I think it's in every FIFA that's ever been. It's like a racing game with catch up. So in a racing game, you're out in front, you're winning, your opponent has crashed first corner. There's something in racing games that is, I don't know if it's called catch up, but basically what will happen is your car will naturally slow down. You will maybe not feel that it's slowing down, but it will to a degree, and your opponent gets speed boosts. They don't notice they're getting it, but they will catch you up. And it's the same for like AI catch up and things. It's to keep it interesting, which is stupid because, I mean, if it's against the AI or something, it's not that dull to a degree because it does keep it interesting and exciting, and a lot of people will just press start and restart the race anyway. But if it's online, I can see why they do it. They do it to keep the bad players interested in playing the game, because if you're not very good at the game and you go online and you get slapped 5-0 every game, you're not going to want to play that anymore because you're going to be like, oh, screw this, I can't be bothered with it because I just lose every game. So what they do is it's not handicap necessarily, I think it's just the sliders moving in game. So, I mean, I can't prove this. It's technically been proven, but they say it's only for offline. But it's probably online as well. So the sliders move, so your players have more error in their passing. That they feel slower. They all of a sudden, they just can't turn around. It's like number 47 to somewhere. I couldn't think of anywhere that everyone would know. But it's like a bus, basically. I made that comparison the other day, but obviously it was someone where I knew where he lived, so I used an area. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I that's the thing about this game I hate the most, and I feel it more in this game than I have in any other FIFA. Pros are pros for a reason. They can overcome that. They are so good. Doesn't matter if the sliders are turned right down. They can still beat the game, because essentially what it is you're battling the game. You're not battling the player you're playing. Sometimes you'll have an even game where your teams are even and you are literally evenly matched, so the game is, the sliders stay the same. But sometimes you'll go 2-0 up in a game and you think, cruising. They don't leave. Then they score. Then they score again. All of a sudden it's 2-2, but you've just regained control. All of a sudden you can start to play again. That's what the feeling is, and I hate that. That's the worst thing about FIFA 20 for me, and it happens so often. I can't say your name, my dude. G Brilsey says, you're the only person I can listen to moan and enjoy it. Well, thank you very much. BRFC, what a terrible surname. Gashhead, lovely. I've experienced the worst delay ever this weekend. My players feel heavy, my passes are awful, and it's cost me 3 or 4 games. Bayern have just made a sub. That's when I'm recording it. I read an awful lot of people saying, this weekend was the worst gameplay I've ever experienced. This weekend was the worst. Last week was bad, but this weekend is horrendous. I've actually seen a lot of people say last weekend was bad, this weekend isn't as bad. Not that I'm calling you a liar, obviously, but it's just going to be different for everyone. It goes on where you live, what time of day you play, and it's just... But that's the thing. Everybody reports it. Everybody says, I've got delay. My players feel slow. It's not in our minds. You're not just saying it because you're bad. Sometimes you can lean on it and say, I lost that game because I'm bad, because I'm not bad, because the game shafted me. Some people do lean on it when you know full well they just lost it because they weren't good enough. But yeah, for the most part, it is really annoying. Callum, I love your content, but after 2 weeks of FIFA 20, I just lost all interest in everything FIFA. No, that's the problem with it, and that's what's going to happen after Team of the Season. I am very worried about that. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'd like to get the Road to Glory up to a point where we're able to just sit down and play games and just chat absolute nonsense. We won't be moaning about the game constantly. I will go through the comments. It was just yesterday I wanted to try and make a video to explain why I can't play Weekend League. I genuinely do want to get the rewards, and I don't mind going through the absolute AIDS that is Weekend League, but I just don't have the time to put into it right now. So what I want to do is try and get the Road to Glory back up to a point where I can play it, and then the games I'm playing can go into the videos. So after Team of the Season, what's going to happen to you is going to happen to everyone. People are just like, do you know what? I'm FIFA'd out right now. I need to go play something else, Warzone or whatever. And I don't play that, by the way, before anybody asks. I know people will. Yeah, so that after Team of the Seasons, it's just going to be, it's going to completely drop off, and there's going to be nothing to do. That's why I think EA might introduce icons back into the game to give people the grind. So a lot of people are going to have excess Team of the Season cards left over, right? So you're going to have really high-rated cards that you're just not doing anything with. I've got a feeling, and from what people have been saying and a few things people have leaked and shown and discovered that we may end up getting some Icon SBCs, which is going against completely what they said they were going to do. They said that they weren't going to do Icon SBCs in the slightest. They're going away this year. We'll just make them more accessible. Swaps is good, but they're not accessible in terms of price, and now they may bring them in. That's going to annoy a lot of people. It's going to make a lot of people happy, but it will annoy a lot of people at the same time. Predator King says, I love your honesty, to be honest, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I think this could be one. I think this could be a disliker. Oh, let's get into it. I like your vids normally. It's a great start. I don't mind that you're not playing Weekend League. Okay, so at the moment we're good. But, there we go. I'm annoyed by the amount of whining about Weekend League today. Well, I mean, to be fair, I was expecting, before I clicked on it and I saw that the percentage of dislikes was down, what I was expecting was people saying, all you do is complain, all you do is moan. And I have actually got I've got a list of things that I've not moaned about recently. For example, that Player Moments Quaison, however you say his name, I love that card, and everyone moaned about it, and I think it's fantastic, and I think it's good value. I didn't moan about that. There's a lot of things I don't moan about, and then obviously there's a lot of things I do moan about, and I can't help it. It's a vent. You know, I get really annoyed at this game sometimes, and Weekend League in particular, and it's just one of those things. I wanted to play a game, but I couldn't just sit there, play a game, and not talk about the reason I haven't played more, you know, and it just kind of got out of hand, and I just did it for 20 minutes in the end. But yeah, it is what it is. So, Steve Smythe? Gotta be Smythe. I also really don't like the meta of just constant turning. There is so little, he says soccer. I'll let him off. Soccer strategy. It's literally just reacting to skill moves or turns effectively like it's Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. My microphone was in the way again. The problem with my new mic is it's a desk mic, so it just sits there in front of me. Not a problem when I'm post-comming things. Not a problem if I'm doing 6 o'clock content, because I don't need to see that section. If I'm trying to read something, bit of a problem. If I'm trying to play a game, even more of a problem. So that's just something. But yeah, the meta this year, there's a drag back. That's the double barrel hyphenated sort of word that fills me with dread. Drag back. That is a pain in the ass. But at the same time, there's going to be a meta in every FIFA game. There has to be, right? There's no way. I'm trying to upload a video at the same time. I'm not hating you guys. I'm not neglecting you, but I need to get this video out, and I want to talk some more. So there we go. It's uploaded now. We can talk. So there's going to be a meta in every FIFA, and it just so happens that this year, drag backs, left stick dribble in general is the meta, right? And last year, it was crossing and first time finesse shots from outside the area and things like that. I prefer the drag back dribbling left stick meta than I do the crossing, because it was literally an arcade game last year. It wasn't a football simulator in any sense of the word. At least this year you can keep possession, you can pass it, and people try to pass through you. They do skills where necessary. I don't class the drag back as a skill move necessarily. I mean, it is, but I don't class it as one because it's so common. It's just part of people's dribbling. I don't really class it as a skill move. But yeah, I can understand why you don't like it. I really do. But if given the choice between FIFA 19 meta and FIFA 20 meta, I'm taking the FIFA 20 meta. The one thing that I don't like is the connection. And he does go on to say in another comment how the connection is brutal and ruins FIFA for next year as well. Spent so much getting the fastest internet possible to see if it makes a difference. I'm sure he got it for other reasons as well, not just FIFA. And apparently it's just EA. And it is, because my internet is very good. I've got, I can't remember, it's like 223 down and like 50 up, which for the UK is insane, right? It's getting better and better as well. There's like gig internet coming by, and I've just scored a second. I really hope it's Muller. But he's probably gone off. No, he's still on. He could be Muller. Could be Muller. Football Index could be going up. So, yeah, the connection. They need to sort that out next year. I'm not going to sit here and moan about that necessarily, but that, to me, is the biggest problem in FIFA. They don't... The connection is... It makes the game feel heavy, and that's why people complain about gameplay. They're not really complaining about the gameplay as such, or for the most part. They're complaining about the connection. And I agree with you. Doesn't matter how good or bad your internet is, it's EA's fault, essentially. It's EA's problem, and they need to get it fixed. Right now, there's an unprecedented number of players playing because of what's happening in the world. Everyone or most people are at home playing or have been, so I can understand why the servers have been heavy, but they're always like that. So it would be nice if they could fix it. And I think we'll end on... Actually, we'll end on 2, so... Dems says, the servers are unplayable. This is my worst weekend league experience. I normally comfortably get gold 3 with a couple of games left, and now I'm struggling to get silver 1. And Pavard scored with a Kimmich assist, so just to let you know, I'm not going to be making money. So anyway, yes, that just reiterates my point. The servers are the problem, really. If the servers were nice and snappy and the gameplay felt responsive every game you played, I don't think there would be anywhere near the number of complaints. There would be still people moaning about it, of course there would be, but not as many, and that's the issue. I know someone who went 8-1, and now he's like 8-6, and it's not down to the fact that he's all of a sudden playing these top players. He said some of the teams are really bad, and he just can't move, and that's a reoccurring theme every single weekend, and that's another reason why Weekend League is just a no-go area for me most of the time, because I hate it, the fact that you're moving and nothing happens. And finally, watching you playing that match makes me realise how bad this game really is. The thing that I'd like to do, and my brain won't work quick enough to do it, right? But the thing I'd like to do is literally record myself playing. We're not talking, we're not doing commentary, we're not reading comments. That comment, by the way, I'm guessing his name is Ethan, but it's ETHJN, so no idea how to say your name. But what I'd like to do, play a game and literally call out, like you're playing pool and you call in which pocket you're going to pop the ball in, right? You call out every single thing you're going to do. There is an element of trust there. You have to believe what I'm saying. You have to trust what I'm saying is real. The other thing, of course, is you could get one of those controllers on screen that you could see where I'm aiming the ball, but both of those, calling out and the controller on screen, to play one game and to call out and for you to be able to see where I'm doing it. And you'll just see blatantly that half the time the game doesn't do what you tell it to do. And it's so annoying. But I'd like to see how bad it is, you know, because like it's easy for me to sit there and go, well, I didn't do that. I could be lying. It could be heat of the moment. I could have actually have done it, but I think I've done something else, but actually the stick was leaning toward the player that I've passed the ball to. I'd like to watch it back with call-outs and with the stick on the screen aiming in a particular way. But yeah, that's it. I have no idea what you've just watched. Hopefully you've watched a hell of a lot of gameplay, and hopefully you've seen me win 14 games on the bounce, and we're going to have some insane picks on Thursday. What you've probably seen is me winning 2 games, losing 3, and basically calling it a day. Who knows? Hopefully the first one. But if you guys have gone on to enjoy this, please do me a favour and hit that like button. I'd love to continue doing Road to Glories, whether it be packs, whether it be gameplay, whether it be a mixture of both, some SBCs and stuff. I just want to get the hype back up for it. But the problem is the game is annoying a lot of people. People are bored of it, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's the same old with FIFA, really, isn't it? We're getting to that point now where Team of the Season is going to start drifting away, and there's going to be nothing left to do. EA need to implement something. Hopefully they've got something up their sleeve. Subscribe to the channel if you're here, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.